We work our butts off.
You do.
And we are worth every penny. The good ones are. So I encourage you to continue paying your realtors 2.5% minimum because we do so much. We really do. Everyone, and welcome to Life with a Cheri on Top. I am your host, Cheri Hagan. This week, my guest is again my favorite co-host, Kevin Hagan. Hey, baby.
Hi, love. How are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
Outstanding.
So we've had an interesting weekend.
We have.
Well, I mean, interesting in a good way, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, okay. What was so special about it? It's a pretty normal weekend for us, I thought. It
is, but that's kind of what I want to talk about. So I want this to be about real estate, but not in a super snoozy, boring way, right? But I want people to understand why they need to pay their realtor, right? Because with all these headlines...
So you want me to take over this podcast?
Yes.
This particular one?
No, I really don't.
Because you might regret this subject. But
no, okay. I'm not going to regret the subject. Am I going to regret something you say?
No, what people don't understand is how much time, effort, no matter when. I mean, yeah. So I think I know where you're going.
Now you know where we're going.
And it's just people don't get it.
Yeah.
It's amazing the things that we have to do.
Stop.
And
start and stop.
Figure out.
So let me say that right now I have four listings. All four are under contract. The fourth being today. Okay. So what happened this weekend is kind of very typical for a realtor who is busy. Okay, so 4 listings under contract. 3 of the 4 I spent Thursday, Friday, and Saturday trying to get information on the appraisals, work out deals between the buyer and the seller, just, calling the lender, making sure everything's on track. All of that with all these deals took 2 days trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
And then Saturday night, we were going to a party at a realtor friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, who's also a realtor. So he totally understood. But I think it started at about 9:30. We were playing a Texas Hold'em tournament. Mm-hmm. And it started at 4. Mm-hmm. Okay. So by 9:30... I think the agent had texted me, the buyer's agent had texted me to say, hey, I sent you an offer. And I kept saying, I don't have it because I didn't. Like it wasn't pulling up on my phone. Mm-hmm. And there was no reason for that to happen. So she sent it again. And then she said she sent it 3 times. And I was like, I don't know what's happening. I don't have it. This is how you spell Hagan, Hagan, because so many people spell it En.
Yeah.
And she was like, I know you already sent it to me. I'm not an idiot.
And
then I was like, well, I don't have it. So I asked the host if I could use his computer to log into my Gmail account so I could try to find this offer that I had to present to my clients at 9:30 on a Saturday night and during a Texas Hold'em tournament. For whatever reason, Gmail was making me jump through like 8,000 hoops, which is fine. I totally get it. I appreciate it. However, I still couldn't get into my account. So
from the outside computer.
From the outside computer. Yeah,
so
it wasn't one of mine.
Right.
It wasn't my laptop. It wasn't my desktop. It was
which is good.
His computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, but sucks. I get it.
Yeah. So we had to leave the party by I think it was about 10:15. I was like, okay, I'm done. Mm-hmm. I cannot seem to get this offer on my phone or on his computer. So now I need to go home and figure out what the fuck is going on. Mm-hmm. So sure enough, so now I have to leave a party that we are having so much fun at. and not just me, obviously it's you too.
Yeah.
I think I like whistled at you and I was like, hey, we got to go.
Yeah. I'm like, well, you don't whistle. I whistle at you. You don't whistle at me. What are we doing?
We seriously have to go.
I'm out on the patio having a cigar with one of the other guys out there, and we're just drinking a bourbon or whatever. And
yeah,
I get the whistle. I'm like, oh, here we go. But I'm used to it. I know this happens all the time.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of my point. So, not kind of. It is my point. It is, yeah. So we left and then came home. And then sure enough, she had sent the offer 3 times, but she had sent it. And for some reason, it went to my spam. I don't know why, but that's why when you're a realtor, you always email the other agent and say, hey, or I'm sorry, you text or call the other agent and say,
shoot the text. Did you get this?
Yeah.
Confirm.
Did you receive my offer? Right. So all 3 of these that she sent went to spam. Mm-hmm. So now we're home. It's 10:30 Saturday night. I'm pissed because I've just left a party that I was very much enjoying. Mm-hmm. You were as agreeable as ever, which you guys, I've mentioned this before, married the best person on the whole planet. Because he just rolls with the punches. He's like, all right, we got to go. Like, there's nothing I can do.
You roll with my punches. All of a sudden, I got to travel on a Sunday or things
I know.
Come up.
I know.
Shit happens.
But yours is a little more planned than mine.
Mm. Yeah.
Mine is...
I know the unexpected is
right.
expected.
Yeah. So that's actually a really perfect way of saying that. So... Now it's 10:30. We're home. I find the offers in my spam. The other realtor, so the buyer's agent, sent the offer. However, she put the wrong address on the offer. So now what she's done is she had 3 attachments. One was the contract for the wrong house. The second was the contract for the right house, and the third was the disclosures for the right house. So now I know she has 2 offers out there.
She's just throwing shit around.
It's throw it at the wall and see what sticks, right? So I'm, again, 10:30 at night, trying to reach the other agent via phone, via text, via email. She is not answering me at all. I call my clients and say, okay, yes, we have an offer, but she has also put in another offer on another house. And I don't know what the hell is going on because this other agent won't call me back. So we're not going to respond to anything right now because I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Right.
Right.
Sure.
So this lasts, I try reaching out to her until like 11:30 last night.
Yep.
And then I was like, fuck it. I'm going to bed. I don't care anymore. And I texted her and said, call me in the morning. Mm-hmm. Then I went to bed, set an early alarm because I knew she'd be calling me early. And she sure as hell did. So she calls me early this morning and says, oh, sorry. We did write that offer up, but we never submitted it because they needed a 60-day close. And she needs a 14-day close. So I guess my point to this whole thing is when you are a realtor, or if you're even thinking about going into real estate, you have to understand that this is the kind of shit that you have to deal with non-stop.
Well, and I will just add to that point from my perspective, obviously. And I mean, you know, I may be gone some of the week here or there and everywhere, but it's always the weekend because that's when most people are off.
Real estate is always the weekend.
Your issues are always during weekends.
Weeknights and weekends.
So we try and make a plan to go to dinner or do something, and it's always somehow disrupted. Interrupted. And, you know, it always becomes something. And
you just have to roll with it.
That's the job you signed up for.
That's exactly right. It is.
as a realtor, if I could just say this, over the many years that we've been together and have done this.
Yes.
If you're slow, take a vacation.
Right.
Because that's when all the shit hits the fan. It's like now you're
always.
Now we're out of country or somewhere relaxing, and it's like, I don't have my computer, or
I always have my computer. But I can't log on or whatever. Yeah.
It's like every time we go somewhere for vacation, it's like, oh my God, you're the busiest I've ever seen you.
That's true. That's 100% true. It just is. It just is the way that it is. Yeah. And I'm just going to correct you and say realtor, not realtor.
My bad.
I know, but...
and vacation. Vacation.
Yeah, but it's a lot, you guys. It truly is a lot. There is so much you have to go through. P.S. One of my listings tomorrow, I have to go because they moved out of state, and I have to literally drive 45, 50 miles tomorrow to make sure that everything's out of the house like they promised me, because I don't trust them. Mm-hmm. And so I have to. What are you going to
do if it's not? If it's not clean?
I didn't say anything about being clean. These are
okay. What are you going to do if shit's not out of the house? If there's still stuff left around?
They are going to be responsible for paying for it to get out, because I'm not doing it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing it. Yeah. I mean, usually I've done a lot.
Does, yes.
Yeah, I do a lot, you guys. Like, I have cleaned countless.
As have I.
Yes, you know what? My apologies, because that is.
Well, you have cleaned many more houses than I have, but I've jumped in.
You have jumped in every single time I need you. Yeah. And we clean houses, because I'll say to people, okay, your house needs to be clean before we start showing. And everybody's level of clean is entirely different. And what I mean by clean is I need it fucking clean. Like, I don't need it neat, but with 2 inches of dust all over everything. I need it fucking clean.
Yeah.
So.
Sparkling.
Yeah. I want it to fucking shine.
Of course, you want to get the best you can.
Yeah, right? I am trying to get the best price for my clients.
Right. You're not being mean, you're being smart. It's like, exactly. This is easy. That's an easy step to do to get your best value.
It's easy for us. It's not easy for most people.
But it's an easy step. So go hire somebody to clean your house.
Totally agree.
100%
agree.
All you got to do is make it look good when someone walks through it, to say, oh, this is worth the value, or I'm going to pay more than that value, whatever it may be. But if it's, dusty everywhere, dirty everywhere, shitty everywhere, people are going to look around and go, they didn't take care of this house. There's going to be something wrong with it.
Exactly right. Yeah.
And you can sparkle it up with a shit shine and shinola for a day and make it look good.
Right. Change your here. The other thing, you guys, you have to take this advice. Please take this advice. Not only do you have to clean, but you also have to change your filters on your furnace. Mm-hmm. Like, that is so important, because when the home inspector comes in and he looks at it and he's like, okay, there's 5 years of shit on this one filter forever. That they've never changed. Yeah. Right. That tells the buyers, oh, they don't take care of this house. Yeah. So what else haven't they taken care of? And you guys, it makes such a huge difference. Yeah. It really does. Yeah. But
simple shit.
I have done so much. Kevin has done so much with me. And this is just one example. This is just one weekend of an example of why realtors need to be paid their worth. Right. Mm-hmm. I will say that I do have another client right now that actually said to me, hand to God, and my hand is in the air, I'm not paying you enough for what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And paid me more, like agreed to pay me more. Mm. That has never happened in 13 years I've been doing this. Yeah, never. And God bless you. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate it. Yeah. Because that just says, wow, I really recognize everything that you're doing to help us get to where we need to be to make the most amount of money.
Right. Absolutely.
And you guys, you have to do that. When you hire a realtor, you want your realtor to go that extra mile, right? And I am certainly that person. And I know there's a lot of people in my office that are exactly the same way I am. This is not a unique situation. So,
well, I'm raising my hand for a second here, and it's not as common as you think.
Yes, it is.
I don't believe that.
I think it's not as uncommon as you think.
Okay.
Here's the thing. If you want to be successful in this business, you have to go the extra mile. That's just it. You have to. Yeah, but you have to be available 24 hours 7. You have to, 24/7.
But I get that. So my job too, right? I need to be available all the time.
You always
I need to answer phones. I need to respond quickly.
Yes.
Otherwise I lose a deal. But I think a lot of people do that in your industry, in your business, but not a lot of people go out and clean a fucking house.
Yes, they do. They do. I'm telling you, they do.
Well, good. I mean, that's great to hear.
Not everybody. But, I would say maybe a third of the people in my office go that extra mile.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're the top 25%.
We're the top.
Yeah.
We are the top producers. Right. There's a reason for that.
Right.
I just want to nail that point home, because with all the headlines and with all these things going on saying, oh, you don't have to pay your realtor dick, basically, the truth is, yes, you do, because we work our fucking asses off.
Yeah. I mean, you cannot pay somebody. You can do.
Right. And we can list it in the MLS and walk away.
Well, yeah. Or I won't say some of the brands or names that are out there that
fly-by-nights.
Yeah, they just throw an address up.
Right. They put it on the MLS and walk away.
Don't do shit.
Right.
They don't do an open house. Yeah. They don't tell you to clean. They don't tell you to do this. Take your stuff
They
off
don't
the
stage.
counters. They don't do anything.
Right. They don't do any of that.
Those houses take 100 days to sell. You're selling houses in
hours.
5 days to 3.5 days to hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah,
big difference, man.
It is crazy right now. Yeah. And I'm getting top dollar for all of my listings because of it.
Well, yeah, and you should be.
Yeah. So you guys, that's all I wanted to talk about this time, because it has taken 4 days this week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It's taken a toll on you. Yeah.
I'm pretty fucking exhausted.
It's been a rough weekendish.
And next week is not any better.
Be nuts. Yeah.
Next week I've got a new listing coming up.
Yep.
And that one is, getting the windows cleaned, getting the house cleaned, blah, blah, blah. All of this is getting done. I've got the photographer coming in. Yep. All of this is happening, and it needs to happen in the right order at the right time. Mm-hmm. I've got to make sure all of these things are getting done, right? So we can get it listed and get it sold by the weekend for top dollar. So that's all of next week. That is my focus, is this one house. And
plus you have a client that you need to find a home in the next
14 days.
Yeah,
there is that as well.
That's that's a side one.
Yeah,
whatever.
So I'm
just 14 days.
I'm a little busy, and I don't want you guys to think that I'm bitching that I'm busy, because that is not the case. I am so incredibly grateful for every single client that I have, and that goes whether I'm busy or not. Right? I'm just always so happy to be doing what I do.
This whole conversation was just about
pay us.
Well,
it is. It's about paying us.
But I mean, it initially kind of started as, hey, this is kind of the life. Understand
this is the life.
This is the things that happen in the background. Most people don't see or know about.
Right.
So yeah, but
I went to, just as an example, last week, and this isn't going to make sense to anybody unless you live in the state of Illinois, but you can look it up on a map. So I left my office.
In case you don't know where Illinois is, or
no, in case you don't know where these cities are that I'm about to reference. Okay. I had left my home office and drove to Arlington Heights. And then from Arlington Heights, I drove to Schaumburg. And from Schaumburg, I drove to Round Lake. And Round Lake, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then from Round Lake, I drove to Streamwood. From Streamwood, I drove to Elburn. And then I came home. So I probably put on easily 350 miles that day. That is the life of a realtor. You want to know why most women realtors have big asses? It's because we're in our cars all the time. Like, I live in the car. I do. It's insane. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all the realtors out there that don't have big asses, but I'm just saying.
You don't have a big ass.
Yes, I do. And it's getting bigger by the minute, and that's why. Because I live in the car.
You're married to big ass, but
I live in the car. I just drive.
No, listen, that's why, I mean, realtors,
yes,
cars
thank you.
Are very important.
Yes, they are.
And that's why you see higher end cars for most of those people, not because they're making money, but because they have to be in a car all day. They have to take calls from the car all day. So you have to have quiet riding cars.
Oh, man.
Which are typically...
I love you so much for bringing that up.
The higher end type of cars. So people look at realtors and go, realtors. and they they're like, oh, they have a Lincoln or a BMW. It's like, yeah, because those are the quietest cars on the road.
Yeah, we don't have that.
Well, but we've got we've got a quiet car.
We have a Mazda CX-5.
It's quiet.
It's fine.
It's good. It runs for miles, and we trade it in every 3 years anyway.
That's right. And because he travels, well, never mind. Okay. So that's getting into a whole other thing.
Story.
Yeah. But, yeah. So
next week.
I really just wanted to point out, you guys, we work our butts off.
You do.
And we are worth every penny. So the good ones are.
Yes.
The good ones are. So I encourage you to continue paying your realtors 2.5% minimum, because we do so much. We really do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if they don't, find a different one that does what you need to do, and get your household in hours to days.
Yeah.
Not weeks to months.
Right.
Because that's the shit you're going to put up with when you don't put the money out.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So there you have it. That is today's discussion. We weren't going to do
real estate ones at all. You wanted to stay away from this subject typically, but
I know, but
it was a good timing. It was timing for you. This is what we're going through this week, so it was all good.
Yeah. You guys, everybody tells me you have to focus on one thing. Okay. First of all, I don't want to focus on one thing.
Let me tell you, she can't focus on one thing.
Yes, I can. However, I don't want to. And, everybody says, oh, you should just do a real estate podcast. And I'm like, oh my God, that would be so fucking boring. Like, I have a lot of good stories, but I can't, for a weekly podcast, I'd be done in 8 weeks. Yeah, we have talked about some of them.
And I say that I don't like to be on this most of the time, but I don't mind it. It's all good.
He loves it. Don't let him bullshit you.
I don't listen to myself, but I like to hear myself talk as a good salesman. So, the one thing that I lost track of somehow was whatever I was going to say.
So. Oh, okay, fantastic. Well, thanks for
you're welcome.
Thanks for that. Okay, the battery's dying, so we've got to wrap this up.
Wrap it.
The lesson of the week is pay your fucking realtor and pay them what they're worth. And if you don't think, like, if you literally just want to list it on the MLS and have somebody walk away, pay them 1%. Go ahead, do that. However, you're not going to get the best offers. You're not going to get a million other things, right? They're going to take their photos with their fucking iPhones. It's going to look like shit on the MLS. Yada, yada, yada. I could go on and on and on, but the battery's dying. So that's all I got to say. Kevin's laughing at me.
I'm just smiling.
No, he's pretty much laughing. So thank you, everybody, for listening. Please go to our Instagram page, # Life with a Cheri on Top. Go to Facebook, Life with a Cheri on Top. Go to our website, lifewithacheriontop.com. Like it. Tell everybody about it. Please subscribe. And thank you, Maya. We love you. And that's it. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye. Aren't you going to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
You always say goodbye.
Oh, I did. Thanks for listening.
Okay. Bye.